Hey everyone, this morning I was reading through the book of 1 Kings, and I read through the first 11 or so chapters because in those chapters we read about the story of Solomon. And we see how Solomon was anointed king over Israel, and we see how he asked the Lord for wisdom, and the Lord granted that to him. We see how Solomon amassed a lot of wealth in his life. And then we see a couple chapters where Solomon dedicates the time and the resources to building a temple for the Lord. And when he finishes building this temple, he takes some time to dedicate the temple to the Lord. And he prays to the Lord. Well, near the end of his prayer, he says something that just really stood out to me. So I'll go ahead and read it. And it's in chapter 8 of 1 Kings. And it's one verse. It's verse 61. And here's what he says. He says, "Let your heart therefore be wholly true to the Lord your God, walking in his statutes and keeping his commandments as at this day." So Solomon, he's giving his final remarks, and in these remarks, he's actually talking to the people who are there at this dedication. And he says, "Let your heart therefore be wholly true." That phrase, wholly true, just really stood out to me. Am I really serving God with all my heart? And he says, "Let your heart therefore be wholly true to the Lord, walking in his statutes and keeping his commandments." Now, as I read a couple chapters beyond chapter 8, we see in chapter 11 where Solomon sadly turned away from the Lord. And actually, Scripture says that his heart was no longer wholly true to the Lord. And he started serving and turning to this God and to that idol and to this God, and it was bad. And when I read the story of Solomon and I see this, I recognize that even if I am serving the Lord today, that doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed to do it tomorrow. You see, I know that I'm going to be challenged tomorrow, and I'm going to face different trials, and the enemy may try to attack me a different way tomorrow. And as I read the story of Solomon, I'm just, encouraged and challenged to every single day dive into the Word and choose I'm going to totally, wholly serve the Lord with all my heart today. So I hope that this passage encourages you and challenges you to put the Lord number one in your life. And also I hope that this video encourages you to dive into Scripture and hear what God has for you today.